the exact same way that I do. This is the easiest and the fastest way to grow your real estate business. My name is Matt Piche, AKA the Fruitful Investor. I grew up in a middle-class family and all I've ever wanted was freedom. By the age of 30, I became a self-made multi-millionaire, all from real estate investing. Follow me on my journey to travel the world when I want, where I want, while continuing to build a killer real estate business. Let's get it. What's up, Fruitful Investors? In this video, I'll be talking about how you can continue to invest in real estate when the banks start saying no, which is definitely going to happen to you at some point. For me, it was when I had about 3 or 4 properties, which is when it kind of hits for most people. That's when the regular A banks start saying no more real estate for you. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how much your net worth is, how much your portfolio is currently kicking ass. It doesn't matter. The banks see you as a risk when you own more and more real estate. It's backwards. It doesn't make any sense, but that's the way the industry is. But there are a ton of ways, some great ways on how you can still buy more real estate without having to rely with the normal banks. Number one, you've probably heard this one a lot. V.T.B mortgages. So if you know what that means, that's a vendor take-back mortgage. It essentially means the seller is gonna hold the mortgage for you. This sounds very, very sexy, doesn't it? Everybody wants to talk about VTBs. It's so easy, just do this, this, and this. This, guys, I'm gonna draw it. That's a terrible needle in the haystack. Here's the hay. I don't know, man. Needle in the haystack. Now, it's definitely possible. I know a lot of investors who do this quite often, but they're doing a lot of deals, a lot of volume. You're not gonna run into this very, very often, especially in residential real estate. We see more of this in the multifamily realm with the 6 units and more. We see more of this. So VTB, like I said, is a seller holding a mortgage for you. So for example, let's say the seller owns the property outright. This is the easiest example and probably the most common time you're gonna see this being used. Maybe it's a 65-year-old seller who's had this 5-plex for 40 years. It's paid off completely. So you're gonna tell him, you know, I can't qualify for mortgages anymore, but I wanna buy your property. I wanna give you the price you're asking for, which is the other benefit. We can pay whatever. I'll pay you your asking price if you give me this deal. So he's gonna give you, I don't know, let's say 80% of the mortgage. So he's gonna actually fork that up. So the building is 500,000, you know, he's gonna give 400,000 of his own money for the 80% of that, and you're gonna have to come up with 100,000 cash, right? Or vice versa, it could be 85%, it could be 100%. I see that often too. This person will give you 100% of the money, register that mortgage on title. He's now the bank. The seller, John, you know, who owns this building, he's the bank. He's the TD, the Scotia Bank, the First National, American Bank of America. I don't know what your banks are called. He's the bank now. So you're bypassing it completely. This private citizen is gonna hold the mortgage for you, the seller. So again, it sounds cool. It sounds so sexy, right? Oh, that'd be awesome. Needle in the haystack. I personally have never done one. Not that I would never do one, but I've just never been in a situation where I could use one. But I personally would never make this my primary real estate investing strategy. I'm looking for VTBs only. You guys will never, never buy real estate. You'll be sitting on the sidelines. This is a tool that we can use in our tool chest to invest in real estate, but I wouldn't make it my primary way of buying real estate without the banks. I got some way better ones coming up, but it is a pretty cool tool if it can be used. Number 2, little more realistic. Private lenders. So we got B banks, basically, B lenders. So, you know, if you own 3 or 4 properties, TD saying no to you, Scotiabank is saying no to you, RBC is saying no to you, Bank of America, if you're in the States, is saying no to you. You get the drift. They're all gonna say no. So then we go to private lenders. So the B banks. So we got the Merixes, the First Nationals, all of the like unheard of banks that the normal Joe buyer and sellers out there would probably never use, right? So we got the private lender. So these are cool because they're more flexible. So for me, as an example, I'm a self-employed real estate agent. Flexibility. Guys, gotta work on my spelling. So I'm a self-employed. Banks, like the A banks, they hate self-employed people. They're not lending to me. So I gotta go to the B lenders, which I have done many, many times. So they're more flexible, they use more common sense. They say, Matt makes this much money as a realtor and private real estate investor. You know, he's got a pretty good income. Yeah, he doesn't work for a factory with a proven, you know, tax return, but he makes pretty good money. I get it. I get that he's smart. We'll give him the mortgage. That's essentially how private lenders or B banks work. So these are great for that because they're more flexible. They're smart, they have more common sense, but they will also eventually run out. Again, it doesn't really matter. So when I get to property 3 and 4, all the major banks are saying, get the hell out of here. When I get to property 7, 8, 9, these guys might also say, take a hike. You got too much, you're too much of a risk. Because they still operate with the same kind of criteria as the major banks. They're just more flexible, more cool, okay? But eventually, they're gonna say no as well. So the whole thing is to buy as much as you can, and first off, to talk with your specialized investment savvy mortgage broker, because if you plan on buying a lot of properties, there's a very strategic chess game on how you gotta do this, on who you use and when. But anyway, to make this easy, let's say we use 3 or 4 properties with a major bank, they say no. Then we go on to these guys, we buy property 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like I said, they say no. Now we go on to either the vendor takebacks or the best 2 I'm gonna show you right now. 3, private money. So kind of like the private lenders, but these people aren't really banks, they're just people. They're just investors that you will probably meet at real estate investing events, other investors in the area. I myself do a lot of private lending, and I'm doing that a lot more because I'm at the stage in my career and life where I'm selling off a lot of my real estate, especially this year in 2020, we're selling off a ton. I was almost gonna swear there, but I'm trying to keep it down, So we're gonna sell off a ton, and I'm gonna private lend all of that to people like you, to other flippers like me. And I'm gonna make a return on that, and those returns are typically 12 to 14% interest only. So that's what I lend out personally, and that's what all the other flipper guys lend out to me as well. So these guys are great because we don't have to go through all the crap that these guys and the A banks especially by giving your tax returns. Can I have your employment letter? Can I have your T1 general? Can I have the utility bills on this property so I can do the calculations? We don't do any of that with these guys. That's what's great. They're investors, they get it. We know them personally. For example, my guy that I get almost all my money from to flip properties, he's a cool guy. I land a deal, I call him up, I say, hey Ben, I got a deal here, I need $400,000 next week. Can you do that? No problem, Matt. Click. No application, no can I see your tax return? None of that. It's just business. We're business people. So this is great to get to when you start running out of money, or especially, mainly, when you start doing flips. Because we don't want to really use the hard money at this 12-40% on rental properties. My God, you're not going to cash flow. Certainly not in my area. So these are really great for flips. So again, you can use private lenders for flips. You can use the A banks for flips. That's rookie moves, man. Rookie moves. When you're doing flips, you want to use these guys and girls, right? You want to use these these private lenders to do your flips. But if it makes sense to do a rental property, I don't know, go ahead. If that makes sense, cool. But most times, just for flips. This is the best way to do it when you start growing, but the #1 best way, you already know it. I hope you do. 4, the best way to get money and continue investing in real estate without the banks is partners. The exact same way that I do. This is the easiest and the fastest way to grow your real estate business. So while the V.T.B sounds sexy, oh cool, I only put down like $1,000 to buy a property, the seller held the rest, I look pretty cool. That is pretty cool. When I partner with people, guess how much money I put into the deal? 0. I'm the expert. I bring the expertise. I'm doing the YouTube videos right now, just videos like these, in order to attract the joint venture partners into my sphere and say, Matt, I watched you on YouTube. I watched all the properties you flip. Oh my God, you flip so many properties. I gotta partner with you. You know exactly what you're doing. You've built a great brand on social media and made me feel comfortable. Now, they don't tell me exactly like that, but that's pretty much how it works. That's why I do these videos, guys. Like I always say, you think I like doing these videos? I do. But the main reason why I do this is for partners, so I can build my business and make more money to do the things I actually want to do, which is chill out on the beach in Mexico or Costa Rica or Hawaii and travel while my business makes me money. And now, while I lend out my money to other flippers, so I make money without owning real estate, no toilets, no tenants. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about, okay? So the way to build your net worth up, kind of like what I did, is the partners. I can talk about this for hours. In fact, I do. I have a whole course on how you can do this right below. Check in the links. I'll show you exactly how to grow your real estate business the exact same way that I'm doing on social media and marketing. Like I said, this right here is the easiest and the fastest way to grow your real estate business. These look cool. I would still keep these in my tool chest, but I would be focusing 100% of my time on attracting partners. So I'm not on title, I'm not qualifying for mortgages, they are. They're bringing all the money, I'm putting no money in. I'm the expert, I know what to do. I know how to buy the properties, how to renovate them, how to attract the quality tenants, how to run the business with the property managers, etc. That's what I bring to my partnerships, and my partners say, no problem, Matt. I'll bring all the money, you do all the work. Easiest and fastest way to do it. That's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button. If you learned anything, smash that like button again, and also hit that subscribe button so we can see more of each other. I'll see you in the next video.